Let us now move to the general derivative of trigonometric function. Yes, the derivative of tree function. Don't forget that we have done derivative of sine x, and we agree that what is divide the x for sine x is cos x. By using first principle, we prove this, and we also move to what cos x. We said dy dx for cos x is what minus sine x. We have done it too. The third one is we said derivative of tan x. By using first principle, it tells us that what we have sec square what x. But I would like to start again to check this by using quotient rule. Yes. Let me start the trig function by that what the first one is derivative of tan x. Let's check it. So to know the derivative of tan x, let me start from let y equal to what tan x. If y equal to tan x, from a trig identity, you can say that what recall that tan x equal to what sine x over what over cos x. So since you will agree that tan x is sine over cos, this equation can later form y equal to the what sine x over what cos x. If it's going in that form, we can also agree that this one is u, this one is v, this is quotient rule. So we now say what let u equal to what sine x and v equal to what cos x. See, what is the u the x? Differentiate this to give us what cos x. Differentiate this, the v, this is the v function of x, the v the x, because phi is equal to the cos x. So the v dx, that will be what minus sine what sine x. So once you have this, we can now introduce our formula by saying what using quotient rule. The quotient rule say that what our quotient rule is saying that dy dx equal to the v du dx minus u the v dx over what v square. This is the quotient rule formula. So if quotient rule formula is equal to this now, let us substitute our value here. We now have dy dx. What is v? Don't forget, v is what? Cos x. We have cos of x out of the u dx. The u dx here is what? Cos x. What is what? U. This minus this. Out of u is sine x. We have sine what? Sine x. Out of the v dx is minus sine x again. Minus sine what? Sine x. Everything over what? V square. What is my v square, please? The v square is what? Cos. Cos square x. So by expand this, we have dy. The x should be cos times cos, give us cos squared x, minus times minus, we have plus sine squared x, everything over what? Cos squared x. Good. So at this point again, I can also introduce that what? We call that whenever we have sine squared x plus cos squared x is equal to what? 1. We establish this fact from the trig. So cos square x plus sine square x equal to 1. You can now have that what? Dy, the x here is equal to 1 over what? Cos square x. And again, we can also establish another fact again. We say that what? We call that if we have 1 over cos x is always equal to the what? Sec x. So at the end of the day, our dy what? The x is equal to what? Sec square x. You can see that what? This statement is true for derivative of what? Of term, both by using what? First principle or by using quotient what? Quotient rule. So the next one is let us find the derivative of what? Of sec x. Derivative of sec what? Sec x. To know the derivative of sec x, let's take the same procedure with this one. Let y equal to the what? Sec x. If y equal to the sec x, you will now divide this. We call that sec x equal to the 1 over what? Cos x. So when is equal to this, my y later equal to the what? 1 over what? Cos x. So if it's equal to that, the next thing is what? We divide it. Let this equal to u, let this equal to v. So when this equal to u, another one equal to v, you can now have what? U equal to 1 and v equal to what? Cos x. Differentiate 1. You have the u, the s equal to the what? 0. Differentiate what? V. The v, the s equal to the what? Minus sine what? Sine x. Abi? So if we get this now, the next thing is using what? Using quotient rule. Do what? Using quotient rule. What do we have next? By using quotient rule tell us that what? The derivative, the y, the x equal to what? V du, the x minus u, the v, the x, everything over what? V square. So if we can have this now, let us substitute for each value here. So we have dy dx. What is my v? V is cos x. Is cos x. What is the u ds? The u ds is what? Is 0. And minus, what is what? U. U is what? Is 1. What is the v dx? The v dx is what? Is cos x. Everything over what? What is v square? B square is what? Cos square what? X. So by solving this further, we will have the y, the x. This give you what? 0 minus cos x. Here we have cos what? X. So the next one is the y, the x. We have minus cos x over, let me split this one to give you what? Cos x dot what? Cos x. Do you know that we have square here? The VDS is sin x. Good. The VD what? The x. The VDS is what? Minus sin what? Sin x. So here we have plus sin what? Sin x. Yes. So here we have what? Sin x. Good. So this expression, I can furtherly what? This expression, sine over cos is what? Or the expression, I can furtherly split it to what? dy dx equal to what? I will still what? Recall you that recall again that tan x equal to the what? Sin x over what? Cos x. And again, from the recall, the and 1 over cos x is also what? Sec x. It's also what? Sec what? Sec x. So by doing that, so we are half the y, the x, sine over cos is tan. We have tan what? Tan x. 1 over cos is sec. We have sec what? Sec x. Therefore, derivative for what? For tan, or derivative for sec x is what? Tan x sec what? Sec x. Derivative for what? For sec x is what? Tan x sec what? Sec x. So the next one we are going to treat now is derivative of cosec x. Derivative of cosec what? X. So to treat cosec x, you can now say what? Let y equal to the what? Cosec x. From the trig identity, the trig always tell us that recall that what? The cosec x is 1 over sin x under trig. So from there, redivide your y should be what? 1 over what? 1 over sin x. By redividing my y to the 1 over sin x, so I can now agree that what? Let u equal to 1. This is b. So let u equal to 1. Let v equal to sin x. So if b is this, do you have what? The u, the x is 0, 1. Out of what? The v, the x, to give you what? Cos x. The next thing is what? You now say what? Using quotient what? quotient rule using what? Quotient rule. By using quotient rule, what are we doing now? The quotient at what? dy dx equal to the what? V du dx minus u dv dx, everything over what? V square. So by doing that, this let me substitute for what? For the each there. You now have dy dx. What is my v? V is what? Sine x. What is du dx? I'm getting 0 here minus u. My u is 1 from here. What is my dv dx? Dv dx is what? Is cos x. Everything over what? What is v square? V is what? Is sine what? Sine x. I'm having sine what? Sine square x here. So by solve this further, we have what? 0 here. So is what left with minus cos what? Cos x over what? Sine square what? X. You know. So let me rub this side. Continue my what? My what? I will rub this side. I will not rub this one. Wait oh. Yeah. Look at it now. From here. I'm having what? Before we continue, please, let me add this 2 to it. The derivative of what? Of sec what? Sec x is giving us what? Tan dy dx for sec x is giving us what? Tan x sec x. Good. So I will leave the derivative for cosec x and derivative of what? Cot what? X. Let us leave it here. So here now, let's continue from. Let me put this thing here. Let me continue this form here. Here I'm having what? Dy dx should be what? Equal to minus cos x over this sine square x. Split it for me. Sine x dot sine what? Sine x. Do you understand it? I split what? This cos, this sine square x into 2. By doing that, so it's the same thing as what? Dy dx is what? Minus cos x over sine what? X dot 1 over what? Sine x. So if you have this, we still need to what? To divide this equation from trig. Recall that what? Cot x equal to the what? Cos x over sine x. And cosec x equal to the what? 1 over what? Over sine x. So by doing that, substitute for each. Dy dx will be equal to minus cot x dot what? Cosec x. So this is the derivative for what? For cosec x. So the cosec x here will be what? Dy dx will be minus cot x cosec x. So the last one is cot. Let's check for the cot now. Derivative for cot will be derivative of cot x. So to find the derivative of cot x, you know that what we apply, we need to divide the cot what? Cot s to be in form of what? To be in form of sine s, no, cos s over sine what? Sine x. Abi now? So Let us redefine it now. Now say what? Let for here. Can say what? Let y equal to cot x. And recall, this is it here. Don't let me waste my time again. Cot x here is Abi. Let me write it. Recall that what? Cot x equal to what? Cos x over what? Sin x. If is in that way, we now have what? Y should be equal to the what? Cos x over sin what? Sin x. From the variation rules, this is division. Abi now? This is division. Let what? U equal to this. This is v. So let u equal to cos x and v equal to the what? Sin x. Differentiate u against cost. Will be what? The u, the x will give you what? Minus sin x. Differentiate the v against sin. We have what? The v, the x will be what? Cos x. The next one is what? Using what? Quotient rule. The rule say that dy dx equal to the what? V du dx minus u the what? The v dx over what? V square. Over v what? V square. If we have it in that way, the next thing we do is what? We will substitute for each value. So you now have dy dx. What is v? V is sin what? Sin x here. Abi du ds here, du ds is what? It's minus sin what? X. What else again? We have minus this minus here. What is u? U is what? Is cos x. Cos x out of the v ds. The v ds here is what? Cos x. We have cos what? Cos x. Everything over what? V square. What is my v? V is sine. We have sine square what? Sine squared x. Yeah. We have what? The what? Dy dx will be times sine times sine minus sine square x minus cos square x. Everything into what? Sine what? Sine square what? X. So by doing this, you can still simplify it further. Take the minus out. We have sine square x plus cos square x. Everything over what? Sine square what? X. Do you remember again that what? Sine square x plus cos square x equal to what? 1. Sine square x plus cos square x equal to what? 1. So when they equal to 1, so I can now move to what? Dy dx equal to 1 over sine squared x. This sine squared x is the same thing as what? From trig. You can say what? Where 1 over sine x is always equal to the what? Cosec x. So if it is equal to the cosec x, therefore dy dx here is equal to what? Minus cosec x. So that is what? Derivative of what? Of cot x. Dy dx for cot x is minus cosec square what? X. Please, it's very essential. You must memorize these 6 trig function, because we will apply it to solve question. So now let me now move to the numerous question. The first one, example 1. 1. If y is equal to 2 sine 2x, y equal to the what? Sine what? 2x, then find dy dx. And find the what? Dy dx. Solution. We are given that what? Y is equal to the what? Sine what? 2x. To solve this kind of question, this is not ordinary s, it's 2 what? 2s. The step you take is what? You said let u equal to what? 2x. If u equal to 2s, you now have what? Y. Therefore, y will be equal to the what? Sine u. Maybe so. Remove this 2s, put u there. Then you turn it back, you have this. After doing this now, the next thing is differentiate this u against 2s. You now have the u dx. You know we are debating u function of s. U dx, derivation of what? Of 2s will give us what? 2. Then our y equal to what? Sine u now, abi? Then you now differentiate the y against what? Against this u. So derivative of sine any value of sine x is cos, of sine p is cos p, of sine y is sine y, cos y, of sine a is what? Cos a, of sine u is give us what? Cos u. So once you have done this is function of function. Therefore, our dy dx will be equal to what? What do you add there? You say what? Du dx multiplied by what? Dy the what? Du. So the one that is divided here multiply to what? You need to multiply this one. By doing that, what are we going to what? To have? We now have the what? Dy dx will be equal. What is the u dx? The u dx is 2. Is 2 multiplied by what? What is dy du? Dy du is what? Cos u multiplied by cos u. So then we now have what? Dy dx to be what? 2 cos what? Cos u. But from this now, what is our u before? U is what? Is 2x. We now have, therefore, dy dx will be equal to the what? 2 cos what? 2x. Be the final answer. When you are asked to differentiate what? Sine what? 2x, it will give you what? 2 cos 2x. 2 cos what? 2s. See, this is the shortcut for this trig function. You are asked to find the derivative of sine 2x, abi? What is the derivative of 2x? Is 2. Write it down. Derivative of sine is cos. Repeat your 2s. So that's how we solve it in shortcuts. Then let's look at example 2. Example 2. If y is equal to cos 12x, then find dy dx. Solution. Our y is what? Cos 12 what? X. Abi? The same procedure. Let u equal to what? 12x. So what will be the y now? Y will be what? Cos u. Differentiate this what? U, the u, the x will give us what? 12. Differentiate the what? Y. The y, the u will give us what? The derivative of cos is what? Minus sine. So we have what? Minus sine x. Then use function of function. The y, the x will be what? The answer you get here and this one. You say what? The u, the x multiplied by what? The y, the u. Abi? So what do we have? By doing that, we have what? Dy dx. What is the u dx? The u dx is 12. We have 12. What is dy du? Is minus sine what? Sine x. At the end of the day, what do we have? Dy. The x will give you what? Minus 12 sine what? Sine x. Apply the shortcut to, we have cos 12, abi? Derivative of 12x will give you what? 12. Derivative of cos is minus sine 12x. Simple. So let's solve more questions. So example 2. Let me add to this example. Say example 3. If y is equal to, yes, tan 8x, find the y, the what? Dx. So to solve this kind of question, our y is what? Tan what? 8x. The same one, let u equal to the what? 8x. Then therefore y will be what? Tan u. Abi? U equal to the 8x equal to tan u. Differentiate this u. The u, the x, we have 8. Then what will be the what? The y, the u. Will give us what? Derivative of tan. Derivative of tan from here is what? Sec square what? X, which is sec square u. Good. Use function of function. The y, the x is equal to what? What is my du? You see what? Du, the x multiplied by what? The y, the u. So we now have what? Dy, the x will be, what is the u dx here? It's 8. We have 8 multiplied by what? The y dx is sec square what? U. We now have dy, the x will be 8 sec 8 sec square. What is the u value for u? Our u is 8x. We now have what? 8x. That's the final answer. Don't forget, we can still use what? The shortcut. We are asked, if you go to use shortcut. Shortcut for y equal to what? Tan 8x. The shortcut will be the y dx will be derivative of 8x is 8. Derivative of tan. I said you must know all these things. This 4, 6. Derivative for tan is sec square what? X. That's what? Sec square our 8x. That's all. So let me give you one example on this, and then we apply shortcuts. If you have example 4 or example 4 on this, we are given what? If y equal to what? Let me say cosec 25x. Okay, what is too much? Let me use equal to cosec what? 6x. Then find dy the what? The x. Find dy the x for this. So to know the dy the x now, what we do? We said what? Solution. We can solve this by using shortcuts without use the word, the normal method 6x. What is the shortcut? Derivative dy dx for this expression, derivative of 6x will be what? 6. Abi, derivative of cosec x himself from this table is what? Is minus cot x cosec what? X. So this 6, if you don't have what? Multiply by, first, will be minus 6. This will come to the fourth. We have what? Cot 6x cosec 6x. Can we apply the normal method and check it? Let's check it. This is the answer by using what? Shortcut. Abi? But let us use the normal method to solve for cosec what? 6 what? 6x. So to solve for this cosec 6x by using normal method, say what? Y equal to the what? Cosec 6 what? X. Said let u equal to the what? 6x. Abi? Then y now equal to the what? Cosec u. Out of the u, the x here to give us 6. Out of the what? Derivative of the y du. Derivative of cosec x. We have it here. Cosec x will give us what? Minus cot x cosec x. Abi? So you now have what? Final. Our dy, the x will be what? The u, the x multiplied by what? The y, the u. So you now have dy, the x should be what? What is the u, the x? The u, the x is what? Is 6. Multiplied by what? The y, the u. The y, the u is what? Minus cot x. Sorry. Cot u minus cot what? Cot u and cosec u. So later we now have dy, the x will be what? Minus 6 cot u cosec u. What is our u? U is 6 what? 6x. We now have what? Dy, the x equal minus 6 cot 6x cosec 6 what? 6x. You can see it. So for the CBT questions, so just know how to what? To apply the shortcut. So let me migrate to the example what? Example 5. Here, example 5. If y equal to the cos squared x, find dy dx. Y equal to the cos squared x, solution. Y equal to what? Cos squared x. We can solve this in by two methods, either by using product rule or by using function of function. So the first one, let us use our first method, using first what method, which is what? Function of function. We can also call it what? Chain rule. So you now say what? Let for this, let u, for this kind of question, let u equal to the cos x. Then therefore y will be equal to what? U square. Cos x is u, y equal to u square. The next step you do now is what? Find the u dx. The u dx for cos x will be minus sine what? Sine x. Out of the y, the u here, what do we have? 2u. Function of function. So we use it as what? Dy, the x here, it will give us what? Du dx multiplied by what? Dy dx. So you now have dy dx. What is du dx? Du dx is what? Is minus sine what? Sine x multiplied by what? Dy du is 2u. 2u. So by solving it further, we have dy dx should be what? Minus 2 sine x u. So what is my value for what? For u. The value for u is what? Cos what? Cos x. Substitute for it. Dy the x, it will now be what? Equal to minus 2 sine x. What of u stand for? U is cos x. Cos x. That is the final answer. Please, you must know how to what? To use this function of what? Function of function. But the second method, let me say by using what? Second method. Abi? Using second method. Using second method called product rule. By using product rule. So here we can say that what? Y, when they give us y equal to the what? Cos squared x. This thing we can, the same thing as what? Cos x, cos x. If you say cos x, cos x, so from this now, we can assume that this one is what? Is u, and this one is what? Is v. So if this one is u, this one is v, that is the product what? Product rule. So the product rule, if that's what? Let u equal to what? Cos x, and v equal to what? Cos x. What is the v? The u dx here is minus sine x. Out of what? The v, the x here is also minus sine what? Sine x. Abi? Yes. What is the formula for what? For product rule. You cannot say what? Using product rule, the product rule formula for this cos this, using product what? Product rule. The product rule say that dy dx go to the what? V du dx plus u dv dx. This is the product rule. By using the product rule now, so what we have, we now have dy dx, the v is cos, these are v. V is what? Cos x. The u dx is minus sine. is minus sine x plus what is my u? U is what? Cos x. So out of the v dx, the v dx is also what? Cos what? Cos x, everything over what? V square. What is the v? Now, v is what? No, we don't have v square. Sorry. We don't deal with product here. Yes? So from this expression now, the v dx is minus cos. Is minus what? Minus cos. So we now have dy dx. Here we have minus cos x sine what? Sine x. Here we also have minus cos x. What am I doing? U is cos. The v dx is sine. The v dx is what? Is sine. Minus sine what? Sine x. So 1 cos s sine s plus 1 cos x sine s. We have the final answer should be what? Minus 2 cos x sine x. If you check by rearranging it, or we can have it what? Dy dx should be what? Minus 2 sine x cos s. It's still the same thing. Check it. The answer we have here is the same thing the one we have here. So by applying the same method, you must get the same answer. But you can see that what this function of function is short method than what? By using what? The product rule. That will be example what? 5. I'm going to the example 8 on this what? On this trigonometry. What she call the examiner like to set question on what? On trig. So let me rub all this side. Let's solve another question on what? On trig. Again, example 6. If yeah, let me use this simple one. Y equal to what? Sine 4x plus cos 2x. You are now asked to find dy dx. If you are given this kind of question, you have to find the what? Dy dx. How are you going to solve it? Solution. Y is what? Sine 4x plus cos 2x. Please, in this case, I will allow you to use short method. I've teach you how to use what? Function of function to solve it. I call it u and x, abi? So derivative of this now, by using short method, will be differentiate 4x. Derivative of 4x will give us what? 4. Derivative of sine is what? Cos 4x. Oh yeah, this side, derivative of 2x will give us what? 2. Derivative of cos is minus sine 2x. This will be your final answer. For example what? 6. So let me add another question. Example 7. 7. Have a question in this form. If y equal to what? X squared over tan x. You are now asked to what? To find dy dx. So for this question, how are we going to solve it? You can set solution. The question given here is what? We have y should be equal to the x squared and what? And x. Don't disturb yourself. This is the quotient rule. Quotient involve division. So the first thing we do here is what? We just say let u is this is v. Let u equal to the what? X squared and v equal to the what? Tan x. By doing that, what is the y derivative of u respect to x? The x will give us what? 2x. Derivative of tan x will be what? The v, the x. What is tan x? Tan x is here is sec what? Sec squared x. You are done. The next thing is what? Just apply your what? Your quotient rule. The quotient rule says that what? We have using quotient rule dy dx will be what? Equal to v du dx minus u dv dx, everything over what? V square. That is the quotient rule. So by applying this rule, we have dy dx. What is v? V is tan x. Out of du dx, the u dx is 2x. 2x minus out of u here is x square. X what square? Out of the v dx is sec square x. Everything over v is tan what? Tan squared x. You can solve this further. By solving it further, what are we going to have? We have dy dx should be equal to what? This. We have 2x tan what? X. These two come to the front. Arrange it. Here we have minus x squared sec square what? X. Everything over what? Tan square what? X. This is the final answer for what? For the question. So let me add more question to it. Say example 8. Example what? 8. If y equal to cot square x square, find the y dx. Solution. What is the question? We are given y equal to the what? Cot squared x square. This, you need to be very careful here. Apply function of what? Of function. Said what? Let PQR. Let me use PQR. PQR. Let P equal to x square. Let P equal to the what? X square. And let's say what? If P equal to the x square and Q equal to what? Cot P. If it's equal to this P equal to this one, and cot P will be equal to the what? Q. Let's say therefore y is equal to Q square. See, this one as equal to this and P equal to this. Everything here equal to what? Y equal to the what? q square. The next thing we now do is what? You will differentiate. Differentiate first. The p, the x will give us what? 2x. Done. Differentiate the q, the what? The p. The derivative of cos, don't forget, is minus cosec square x. Minus cosec square what? P. And derivative of y against what? Q will give you what? 2q. The next thing is what? You will multiply these three answers you get together. You now said what? Using the y, the x, what was the first one you do? The p over the x multiplied by what is the second one? The q over what? The p. What is the third one? The y over what? The q. So the next step is what? Very interesting. dy, d what? Dy, the x. What is the pds? The pds is 2x. What is the qdp? Minus is, let me say, is minus cosec square p. Yes, out of the y, the q. The y, the q give us what? 2 what? 2q. Good. The next thing we have to do is what? Remove this p and q. Replace the original value there. You now have dy, the x should be 2x. No, this minus will come in front. 2, yes, 2, this 2 times 2. We have minus 4x. Minus 4 what? 4x. What do we have there? Cos sec square p. Then we have q. So let us substitute for p and q. Dy, the x, will be minus 4x cos sec square. What is p? P is this from here. X square. Cosec square what? X square. What of what? Q is cot. Cot p. P is what? X square. Square. B is the final answer for what? For this square. Sure. So I will still add one more to make it an example on trigonometry. Let me add one more question. Now, example what? 9. If y is equal to sine and square of 4s minus 3, find dy dx. Can you solve this or I solve it? Let me solve it. So for this kind of question, solution, y equal to the what? Sine square what? 4x minus 3 is almost the same with this. The first thing you do is what? Let p equal to what? 4x minus 3. You can now say what? Let q equal to the what? Sine p. And therefore, y will now equal to the what? Q square. By doing this, the next thing you do is what? Differentiate this, the p The S will give you what? 4, will give you 4. Then the Q, the P for this, the derivative of sine is cos P. Then here, the Y, the Q will give you what? 2Q. Combine the three together. That will be our final answer. Combine the three together. We now said what? Using dy the x to be what? What is the first one? The p dx multiplied by what? The q, the what? The p multiplied by what? Dy, the what? The q. So you now have what? By using that, you have dy dx will be equal. What is the p dx? The p dx is what? Is this? Which is what? 4. Multiplied by what? The q dp. The q dp is what? Cos p. Cos p. Out of the y dq. The y dq is 2q. Multiplied by 2q. Change the alphabet. Dy, the x will be 4 cos. What is p? P is what? 4x minus 3. Then note that j multiply by what? 2q. What is q? Q is what? Sine p. Sine p is 4x minus 3. So the final answer will be what? Dy dx 2 times 4, 8 cos 4x minus 3 and sine 4x minus 3. Chike. Now, so the next thing is what? Let's check logarithm function and the inverse.